No. Now, the very next time this happens, I will be exceedingly angry. Who is it this time? Disturbing people on such a night. Speak up there.
I say, Badger, old chap. It's me, Rat. I'm a friend of Mel. Come along. I'm afraid we rather lost our way in the snow.
Oh, come in, the pair of you. Oh, you must be freezing. This is not the night for any respectable folk to be out in the wild wood.
Yes, I quite agree.
Not only is it dark and cold, it's also been snowing.
Yes, we were out in it, you know.
It's all right for the ferrets and weasels. They like that kind of thing, but two respectable riverbankers like yourselves wandering about on a night like this, well, Ratty, I'm very surprised at you.
What, me? No,
never mind that now. How are you, my young friend? I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
I'm very sorry to disturb you, Mr. Badger.
Oh, don't worry about that. What have you done to your leg?
I don't want to be a nuisance.
He fell over your blasted shoe scraper and cut his shin, Badger. Like he did, or we'd never have found the place.
Oh, ouchie.
The kiddie'd have a sign.
Oh, there, Mole. It's not as bad as all that. Oh, I'll go and get some sticking plaster and fix you up good as new. A sign outside my house in the wild wood.
I do hope we haven't upset Mr. Badger by coming here, Ratty.
Oh, don't worry about him, old sport. He comes across as a bit of a grump, but he has a heart of gold, really. Why, every Christmas Eve, whenever there are carol singers at the door, he always has them in for mulled wine and mince pies.
Oh, really?
He's a solitary creature by nature, but he's as kind and good-natured as they come.
Oh, I do hope he wasn't doing anything important.
My dear fellow, the red and white handkerchief on the floor here tells me the only thing we were interrupting was one of Badger's frequent naps.
Oh.
Now hold still, Mole. This won't hurt a bit.
Now, Badger, we have something very
Ratty,
important.
there's a kettle behind you. Put some tea on. The poor Mole here is frozen to the bone.
Oh, yes, please.
Right, yes, of course.
Now hold still, Mole. It's all right.
Oh, ouchies.
There we are. Is that better?
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Badger.
Just Badger will do, lad. Mr. Badger was my father.
Oh.
Now, you two, what possessed you to leave that lovely little riverside burrow of yours, Ratty, and come out here in the middle of the night?
Well, it was like this.
Oh, it's rather a long story.
Well, with the snow coming down outside, I wasn't planning on going anywhere.
Well then, it was like this. The mole had been working very hard all morning.
Oh, bother.
Spring cleaning his little home.
Oh, blow.
First with a cloth.
Oh, blast.
Then with a duster.
Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh.
And finally with a bucket of whitewash.
Ooh, whitewash, ha-ha! Oh, sorry, Ratty.
When suddenly he threw down his brush and he said,
No. Hang spring cleaning.
and then, pausing only to put on his hat, he scurried out of his burrow without a second glance.
Oh, the sky! The sky was bright blue. So blue and clear, you felt if you looked at it too long, you might take off like a bird and fly up into it. Oh, the clouds! The clouds are small and white, like little cotton balls floating so far away you can hardly see them. The green of the meadow grass is broken only by the beautiful meadow flowers. Blue and yellow and pink and purple and the air is filled with bird song. Oh, what a day I'm having!
And then, He hears it.
Oh my!
Quiet at first, but insistent.
By my whiskers?
Growing louder and brighter with every step.
Oh! Oh my goodness!
Never in his life had he seen a river before. This sleek, sinuous, full-bodied animal, chasing and chuckling, gripping things with a gurgle and then leaving them with a laugh, to fling themselves on fresh playmates that shook themselves free and then were caught and held again.
I was spellbound, bewitched. Never had I dreamed of anything so, so beautiful. I don't know how long I stood there or how many times I walked up and down the riverbank when suddenly something came into view. Oh, something came into view!
Oh, right.
Oh, that's a good idea, yes, I like that. Yes, a little boat. Skipping along at a good pace, and at the oars was an impressive-looking creature.
Well, one doesn't like to brag, you know. Ahoy there!
Oh, ahoy!
How do you do?
Very well, thank you, and how are you?
Oh, you know, old sport. Nothing like a quick jaunt along the river on a warm spring evening.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I've never been in a boat before.
What? You mean to say you've never... I mean, what have you been doing?
Well, I think I'd like to very much.
Well, of course you would, old chap. That goes without saying. Now, you come aboard and join me.
Who, me?
Yes, go on, take my hand.
Oh, I'm not too sure.
It's perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Take a big
Oh,
step.
you sure?
Very safe.
Oh!
There you are, like a born sailor. Welcome aboard. I'm Rat, by the way.
Oh, Mole!
Good to meet you, Mel. Now, believe me, my young friend, there is simply nothing half as worth doing as just messing about in boats.
Oh, Mr. Rat?
Simply messing about on the river.
Oh, I do say...
Everything that...
Oh, look out! Look out!
Ah, there we are. The perfect place to stop for lunch.
Oh, did you mean to do that?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh.
Now, help me open with this hamper. I'm afraid there's not much in here, I'm afraid. Let's see. There's some cold ham.
Oh, ham! I like ham.
Cold beef.
Oh, ham! I like
Cold
beef. Yes, I like
tongue.
that. Oh, tongue.
Tinned peas.
Oh, peas! I like
tinned
those.
carrots.
Oh, yes, I like
tin of
those.
sardines.
Oh, they're my favourite.
Bottle of ginger beer.
Stop! This is far too much.
Oh, do you really think so? It's only what I normally take on my little expeditions. And all the other animals say how mean I am with my food.
I couldn't manage this in a dozen meals.
No, I could. Now, help me with the breakfast hamper and we'll get stuck in.
Oh, Ratty.
Hmm?
Oh, I think we have a problem.
What, no tin opener?
No, not with the picnic, with the story.
What do you mean?
Well, this is the part when Otter came in.
Yes.
Well, you were there.
Yes.
And I was there.
Yes.
So, who is going to play Otter? Oh. Oh, yes.
Of course! Badger!
What?
Oh,
You
yes.
can do it.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I wasn't there and don't know what Otter said.
Oh, it's frightfully easy, old chap. All you have to do is imagine what Otter would say, and then we shall steer you right.
Yes, please.
Oh, all right. Oh, ridiculous idea.
Thank you, Mr. Badger. I think there's some rather relieved people out there. All right, could you take this for me, and the peas and the carrots, and remember that the sardines are my favourite.
Good afternoon, chaps.
Oh,
Hello, old chap. Do come and join us. Now, Otter, this is Mo.
Ah, nice to meet you, Bill.
You hereabouts, and Mo, this is Otter. He's been here since time immemorial. Won't you join us for some sandwiches?
No, afraid I can't stay, Ratty. Got a nice fish waiting for me at home, and you should never swim on a full stomach.
Oh, shame.
Just saw you crash into the bank, thought I'd come and check everything was shipshape with you.
No, I didn't crash.
Oh, no. He meant to do it.
Yes, I simply landed a little harder than I expected.
Yes, that is the very definition of a crash. Now, while I've got you here, just thought I'd have a word about our dear friend, Mr. Toad.
Oh, Toad, what's he done now?
Oh, excuse me, who is Mr. Toad?
Who's Mr. Toad, you young scamp?
He lives further up the riverbank in a huge old house called Toad Hall. Been in his family for generations.
According to him, at any rate.
He's a lovely fellow, just A trifle eccentric.
Odd, really.
How so?
Well, he gets these ideas into his head.
And once an
then-
idea takes root, there's no stopping him.
And first it was punting.
Ugh.
Nothing would please him but punting. And then bicycles and houseboats, sailing boats. A new sailing boat every week.
To replace the previous ones he'd wrecked.
The trouble is he tires of these things very quickly. But when he's in the grip of the mania, there is no talking him out of it.
Well, that's what I came to tell you. I've been up and down the river all morning, and no one's seen hide nor hair of Toad or a sailing boat for days.
Oh, no.
And one of the rabbits heard strange noises coming out of the stables at Toad Hall last night.
Oh, well, that's all right. Rabbits will say anything.
Well, in that case, good afternoon, chaps. Bon voyage!
Oh, well done, Mr. Badger!
Oh, is it all right?
Oh, yes, I thought you were wonderful. I like that when you came in, you put your foot
If
on.
I may.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, sorry, Ratty.
Anyway, as I was saying. Well, Mel, how have you enjoyed your first day on the river?
Oh, it has been wonderful. I don't think I've been so full of food, so relaxed and so exhilarated all at the same time.
Well, that's what it is to be a riverbanker, old chap. By the river, on the river, in the river. It makes no odds. Ever changing. Always moving, and yet unchanged. What it doesn't have isn't worth having, and what it doesn't know certainly isn't worth knowing.
Ratty, what's that over there?
Oh, that. Well, that, Mel, is the wild wood.
Oh,
And we riverbankers don't go there very often.
aren't they very nice people over there?
Well, they're all right in their own way, I suppose, but, you know, weasels and stoats and foxes and so on, well, you can't really trust them. They tend to break out, there's no denying it. They can be a bit, naughty.
Naughty! Oh.
Yes, up to all kinds of mischief. Now, take it from me, Mel. You should never go to the wildwood alone. I certainly wouldn't. Only Badger does.
Doesn't he mind all the mischief?
Mischief? Badger? Oh, I shouldn't think anyone would be silly enough to give Badger any mischief. Badger's family have been living in the wildwood longer than the Toads at Toad Hall.
I think I'd like to meet him.
Yes, well, maybe one day. Badger doesn't like to socialise very much. Maybe one day he'll pop up and say hello.
Or maybe we could go, and then we could see him.
I should put it out of your mind for now. There's a good chap.
Oh, right.
Oh, look, there's Toad Hall.
Oh my! It is enormous.
I think we'll leave the boat here and walk up, shall we?
Yes, right here.
Oh, look, now, on the right there, those are the stables.
Yes.
And that ahead of you that you're looking at now,
Oh, yes.
That's the banqueting hall. Very old, that is. Now, Toad's family are very rich. And Toad Hall is one of the nicest houses on the riverbank. Not that we'd let Toad know that, of course.
What are all those broken boats doing over there, Ratty?
Oh, it looked as though Walter was right. It looked as though boating's played out. I wonder what new fat he's up to this time. Well, I suppose we'll find out soon enough. Come along, Mel.
Righto.
I was going to send a boat down the river for you, Ratty. I need you.
Yes,
What
now
was
this
that?
is my
Yes, hello. Any friend of Ratty's is a friend of mine. What will you take? Come in and have something.
Toad, will you just give us a moment to catch our breath?
Oh, Ratty, you old bore. There's no time to stop. There's too much to do before we set out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, you want to go on the water tomorrow? Well, that's all right, old sport. I dare say with a bit of practice we'll make a boatman of you yet.
Oh, pooh, boating. I gave that up long ago. Sheer waste of time, that's what it is.
I told you.
Come along, dear fellow, and your amiable friend also, just as far as the stable yard, and you will see what you will see.
He took us through the stable yard, Toad running along ahead with boundless energy, until we reached one of the coaching barns. Toad threw open the doors, and there, standing in all its glory, was a canary yellow, picked out with green, red wheels shining in the evening light, gypsy caravan!
fellows. Here's real life for you. The open road, the dusty highway, here today and gone tomorrow. Travel, change, interest, excitement. The finest cart of its type ever built. All planned by myself. Spared no expense.
Yes, I'm sorry, Toad, but what did you mean by before we set out tomorrow?
I thought that was obvious, my dear fellow. At first light tomorrow, we will sally forth into the unknown. I couldn't possibly manage without you. We will go back. You don't mean to stick to that dull, fusty old river your whole life, do you?
I'm not coming, Toad.
What?
I shall stick to my fusty old river and my little boats, if you don't mind. And Mel's coming with me, aren't you, Mel?
Well, yes, Ratty, if that is what you want. It's just, it does sound rather fun, is all.
All right, Toad. We shall have some supper tonight, and then tomorrow morning, at first light, we shall set off.
Capital! Right, we'll head inside and see what Shepherd's made for dinner. Then a brisk sleep and on the road by dawn.
But it was 10 o'clock the following morning before Toad woke to join us.
Good morning, you fellows.
Morning.
Another hour and a half before he was ready to leave.
I can't for the life of me think where I left my toothbrush, fellows.
But eventually, we got the opal onto the cart, and off we went.
What did I tell you, fellows? This is the real life. The wind on our faces, the sun on our backs.
Yes, it would have been on our faces too if he'd woken earlier.
The fresh air, the excitement of what may be round the next bend. I say, you chaps, I'm so excited, I may never sleep again.
Whoa! Ratty, if you want to go back to our nice riverbank, I'll come with you, you know.
Oh, bless you, Mel. I do miss the river terribly, but I think we'd better stick it out. Can't last much longer anyway. But even I was surprised to see how soon our little adventure would come to an end.
Ratty, what's that noise?
I don't know, Mel, but I don't like it.
It seems to be getting louder.
Toad, wake up, you fool!
What's that, Nanny?
Oh, don't be an ass, Toad. What is that infernal sound?
Oh, Ratty, look out, look out!
You villains! You scouts, you road hogs! Well, that's it. I'll report you. I'll take you through all the courts.
Ratty!
Oh, that's torn it.
Ratty!
I mean, look at the cart, old sport. It's ruined. I mean, the axle's bent, the windows and panels are smashed, and there's tins of sardines all over the wide world.
Oh, Ratty!
What is it, Mel? Are you injured?
No, it's just, where is Mr. Toad?
Toad?
Toad! Mr. Toad!
Toad!
Toad! Oh, Toad!
Toad!
Oh, my goodness!
Up you go.
Up you get!
You're all right, old sport.
Who?
I think he's in shock.
Oh, he's forgotten his line. Buck up, old chap. Come on, because as soon as we get you up, we'll have to take you to a police station, see if we can find anything out about that motor car and launch a complaint against it. And then we shall have to go to a coach builder or a blacksmith and see if we
Police
can't...
station? Complaint? Mend the cart? I'm through with carts forever. I never want to see another cart as long as I live.
Oh, no.
Oh, glorious, stirring sight. The poetry of motion, the real way to travel, the only way to travel. Here today and gone tomorrow, villages skipped, towns and cities jumped, someone else's horizon. Oh, bliss, oh, rapture, oh, poo-poo.
Come on, Mel. Mel, it's about 5 or 6 miles to the next town, and we'll just have to walk it. From there, we'll see if we can get a train back to the riverbank tonight.
What about Mr. Toad?
No, bother, Toad. I'm done with him. This is the last straw. From now on, he's on his own. Come on, Mel.
Yes, coming, Ratty.
Oh, poop, poop. I fancied I spied a car dealership in the last town. I wonder how much a small car, just a small one you understand, would cost.
Too much.
A car fit for a toad. That entrancing sound. That bewitching smell. And at the steering wheel, the incomparable toad. The glorious toad. The terror of the highways. Here today and gone tomorrow. Oh, bliss. Oh, rapture. Oh, poop, poop. I'm going to get a new car. Poop, poop. Poop, poop, poop.
No one likes a smarty pants.
And it hasn't just been one car, it's been...
Six motor cars. Heaven only knows what it's cost the silly beast. No, I can't take it anymore. I'm moving. Find the paper. I hear Hull's nice this time of year.
Oh, calm down, Ratty. I'm sure it can't last much longer. Maybe if we got him a tea. Ratty, now that we have some peace and quiet again, well, I've been thinking, you know how you said Mr. Badger is well respected in these parts? Well, I thought maybe if we went to see him, and then he could tell Mr. Toad
My
to
dear
stop being
fellow,
such a silly
it is
animal.
quite out of the question. The days are too cold and too short to go wandering around the wildwood.
Oh, but Ratty,
No, Mo. We shall just have to wait. Either Toad will lose interest in the infernal motor car, or Badger will simply come of his own accord.
Oh, he has a Honda, does he?
But we must be patient. Now, let's hear no more about this. I shall put a pot of tea on it. Okay, all right with you? Of course it is.
Thank you, Ratty. I do think that Mr. Badger should be told, but Ratty said not to. And yes, I'll go. Yes, I'll go and find Mr. Badger in the wild wood. It can't be that far, I'm sure. Right, off I go. Ready? Here we go. Oh my goodness. It's very windy out there.
I say, Mo, how do you take your... Mo? Mo? Sorry. Moley, you haven't. Well, Ratty, it's time to show the world what kind of a friend you really are. Are you a rat? Or a mouse?
It's not that bad, really. Just a little bit dark and spooky. Oh, I just wish it wasn't quite so very cold. Oh, moles aren't built for it. Oh, I wish I'd stayed by our nice warm fire and... Oh, what was that? It looked like a face. Oh, but there's nothing there. Silly Moley, making things up. And no, there's another one. Mr. Badger, if you could possibly... Dear. Oh, they don't sound very friendly. Oh, please stop whistling. Oh, I'm lost and alone and in the wild wood and now it's started snowing. Oh, please. Oh, help. Oh, bother. Ow. Oh.
Oh, where are you, you silly beast?
Ratty, is that you?
Oh, of course it is, old chap. Come here, you know I'd never leave you in the wild wood.
Oh, Ratty. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been a complete nincompoop.
Oh, it's quite all right. All is forgiven. Although you really shouldn't have done it, you know. We riverbankers never go to the wild wood alone.
I'm sure Mr. Toad wouldn't mind coming here all by himself.
Old Toad? You wouldn't catch him here for a hatful of golden guineas. I'm afraid, old chap, with all this snow, I don't know where we are, or our way back to the riverbank.
I don't think it would really matter, Ratty. You see, I hurt my leg.
Well, Bill, you're injured.
Oh, yes.
Quick, come up, let me take a look.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my dear fellow. Well, it's not looking good, I'm afraid. I mean, maybe if we get you to a doctor, we can save
Oh,
it.
but Ratty,
No, don't speak. Save your strength.
Well, it's just, it's not that leg. I hurt the other one.
Oh, yes, it's just a small cut, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know that, Ratty.
Yes, it's quite a clean cut. It's not from a log or from a tree stump, and I wonder...
Oh, it doesn't really matter where it came from, Ratty. That is immaterial. Oh, you just go on without me. You should be back at home by your nice warm fire and having mulled wine and...
By Jove, a door!
Oh, how did we miss that?
Dramatic license.
Shall we move on?
Yes, I think we better have.
Yes.
Look, it's Badger's door. We're safe.
Oh, but how do you know that, Ratty?
Well, elementary, my dear Mole. You see, the cut on your shin was caused by something metal, something like a shoe scraper. And where do you find shoe scrapers? Why, beside front doors. After a little looking, the rest was simple. Now, let us get you onto your feet, and we shall knock on the door until we wake up old sleepyhead Badger.
I beg your pardon.
Oh. Yes, well, something like that. I don't remember the exact words.
Oh, I remember. You said...
Thank you, Mole.
Oh.
It's not important what I said.
Well, you seem to have had quite an adventure. Now, there's not a moment to lose. The hour has come.
What hour, old chap?
Toad's hour. The hour of the toad. We'll teach him to be a sensible animal.
Oh, yes, we will. We'll teach him how to be a very good, sensible animal.
Yes, and save him from himself. Now, I heard from a very trustworthy source that Toad intends to take delivery of an extremely powerful and fast motor car tomorrow.
Ooh, what's trustworthy source?
Well, it was a rabbit, actually.
Oh, rabbits will say anything.
Well, never mind who said it. It is imperative that we act now before it's too late. He's a good creature, is Mole, just headstrong and has no common sense.
Oh, Mr. Badger, do we have to leave straight away? It's just, well, it's getting very dark outside and it's very cold.
Oh, don't worry, Mole. I have tunnels leading in every direction under the wild woods. One leads straight to the riverbank. From there, we'll take your boat up to Toad Hall, Ratty. And see what we can do about that unfortunate creature, Toad.
Righto, yes. Oh, my goodness. It's still very windy outside.
I know you're not very good with boats, Badger, but do try to take it easy, old chap.
I am perfectly all right, thank you, Ratty.
You do look rather seasick and green, Badger.
Nonsense. I am perfect. I am absolutely fine.
Yes, I'm sure there are a few people in the front row quite pleased about that.
Where is Mr. Toad again?
There we go. Lovely day for a drive. A bit blowy out there, but I'm sure it'll be nice for a drive. There again. Hello there again. Good morning, you chaps. What a glorious day for a drive, what? Poop, poop and all that. I say, you're just in time to join me for a jolly. For a jolly? For a jolly? Oh, no, you won't want to go on a jolly.
Toad, take those ridiculous things off.
Shocked. What is the meaning of this gross outrage? I demand an explanation.
Take them off him, you two.
It's for your own good, Toady.
It'll be all right, old chap.
Come here, you.
Pooh,
Toady, come here.
No, that's me.
Sorry, Toady. Come back, Mr.
Toby, come back here.
Toad. Where are they? Mr. Toad. Ratty.
You're in good tone.
Mr. Toad! Where are they? Come back here, Mr. Toad! Where? Ratty! I think he's there. Ready? Now! Come here, Mr. Toad!
You knew it would come to this sooner or later. You've disregarded all the warnings we've given you. You've squandered the money your father left you. And you're getting us animals a bad name in the district. What with your furious driving, your smashes, and your rows with the police. Now, you're a good fellow in many respects, and I don't want to be too hard on you. First, will you say you're sorry to all your friends for all the trouble you've caused over the years, and promise never to touch a motor car again?
No! I refuse. I'm not sorry, and what is more, the first motor car I see, poop, poop, off I will go in it. The open road, the dusty highway, poop, poop.
Then there's only one option left to us. I'm sorry, Toad, but we three are going to stay here until you're well again. Lock him in his room.
No,
you
not
two.
my room, please, not my
Leave
room.
him
Get
there
it
till
from
he
my
comes
room.
to
No, Ratty, no. I want to leave my room. It's too early. No, Ratty, no, Ratty.
Now do try to get some rest, old chap. You'll feel better for it.
Do try and get some rest, old chap. You'll feel better for it. Oh, it's not fair. I should be out there in my little car. Poop, poop. Poop, poop. Oh, I might as well just go to sleep. There's nothing else to do. It's not fair. Me, the toad, stuck in this hole. Oh, Toad in the hole. It gets worse. Oh, it's that badger. He's got it in for me, all right. Oh, silly old badger. Now, let's see if I can sleep this side. Oh, no, I can't sleep that side. Oh, I wonder how long I've been here. I bet it's hours, days even, maybe weeks. Less than 2 minutes? Oh, bother.
I've been down to Toadie's storerooms and I fear he's been neglecting himself. There's no food in them. I'll go down to the local village and fetch him some supplies.
Oh, you're a kind-hearted creature, Mole. I'm going to go into his study and look over his paperwork.
Righto,
No, not to be disturbed, you understand? Yeah,
Righto,
very,
yes.
very important.
Going into the study to look at the paperwork. He's going to sleep, that lazy old badger. Splendid! That's 2 down and 1 to go. Poor old Ratty. It's his brawn against my brain. A worthy fellow rat, full of good qualities, but very little intelligence and absolutely no education. Oh, what's this? Oh! 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 That should do it. Oh, goodness sake, wait a minute, see? I'll try again. Oh! Oh! Help! That should definitely do it. Oh, for goodness sake, I think he's going deaf, I really do. I'll give it another go. Help! Help! Now that should do it. Oh, for goodness sake.
What the hell is You're right, old chap.
Oh, Ratty. Good, kind Ratty. I'm all right, thank you.
Well, you don't sound too good at all. In fact, you're looking a little green.
You got it. No, I'm all right. It's just I don't want to be any further burden to my friends. Though I probably won't be for much longer.
What on earth do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just that if it's not too much trouble, perhaps you might ask the doctor to call round.
Doctor, Toad, are you sure it's as serious as all that?
Oh, no, you're probably right, Ratty. Kind, handsome rat that you are. I'll probably recover. Though, just to be on the safe side, perhaps you might ask the lawyer to call in, just to check my affairs are all in order.
Lawyer, Toad, if it's as serious as all that,
Yes,
I'll go put it on
yes,
straight
thank
away.
you.
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Oh,
Bye, Toad.
Ratty.
Yes.
Could you leave the door open? Let some air into this dark room.
No, I don't think I can do that, Toad.
Oh, quite right. It's just that, what with the walls closing in and the lights going out. Oh.
No, mind, Toad, it's all right. I'll leave the door ajar.
Yes,
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Ratty.
Help us on the way.
Yes, thank you, Ratty. Oh, what did I tell you? Those silly creatures are no match for Toad. The incomparable Toad, the great Toad, the breaker of chains, the escaper from bondage. Now, I think a little stroll to the nearest public house is in order. A nice meal, a little drink, put my feet up for a few hours, and then come back home, by which time those silly asses will be so pleased to see me, they'll forget all this better make Toad a better person malarkey. What a clever creature I am.
How do I find the doctor?
Oh, you see in the pages. That was close.
We don't have a telephone.
Oh, well, I'll ask the butler well.
That's right, you are.
Oh, that was very close.
Sorry, wrong way.
Oh, he went the wrong way. Is he gone? Oh, I'm absolutely pooped. But I can make my escape. What a clever creature I am. Poop. Right, you are then, Bert.
What are we working on again today, boss?
Time 38 for his
Oh, time 38, that's right. Lovely, shine that one up right you are. That's all in working order. Right, what's missing?
Wheels!
Wheels, that's right, wheels.
Make sure they are fully inflated.
There we are. Lovely, lovely. Right.
You fancy a drink, Bill?
Always, Bert.
The world has held great heroes, as the history books have showed, but never a name goes down in fame compared with that of Toad. The clever men of Oxford know. Oh my. Oh, glorious. Oh, poop. A car. I wonder if this type of car starts easily. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to give it a try. Shall I give it a try? Shall I? Shall I? Who said no? No, I think it would be all right, won't it? Yes? Yes, yes. You're as honest as I am, you see. Well, most of you, anyway. I'll give it a go. Almost. What a clever toad I am! Oh, the wheels come off. Don't tell you. Right. Off we go! Clear the way! Empty the roads! Lock up your carts and wagons! For here comes Toad, the terror of the highways, the prince of the byways, the lord of the ring road. Oh no, out of the way! No, no! Out of the way! No! No, 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 no!
Now, some people would consider the theft of a motor car to be the worst offence, and so it is. The fact that it was my motor car is neither here nor there.
But that's not fair.
Silence in court!
But cheeking the police undoubtedly carries the severest penalty, and pretty bad cheek it was from what we heard from the witness box.
Oh, yes, Your Honour. What he said would make a Marine blush. Oh, I might need therapy.
Suppose we were to say 12 months for the
12
theft,
months.
which is mild, and 3 years for the
3
furious driving, which is lenient, and 15 years for the cheek.
Now hang on.
Silence in court!
Now that makes 19 years, yes. 19 years for you, laddie.
19.
19, bit inelegant. All right, 20 years.
Oh, yes, Your Honour, great.
20 years in prison? You can't do that. I'm the Toad.
Prisoner, pull yourself together and try to stand up straight. Oh, you are. It'll be 20 years for you this time, and if you appear before us again on any charge whatsoever, we will have to deal with you very seriously indeed. Have you anything to say for yourself?
Just this. Pants.
Oh, you
Lord.
shaky Toad!
You've not heard the last of Toad.
I rather think we have. Take him to the deepest dungeon, in the stoutest castle in all of England. And there you can think about what you did to my lovely motor car. Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a 15-minute interval, after which we'll commence with the second half. This court is adjourned.
Attention all riverbankers, could you retake your seats at once? The performance is about to recommence. Thank you.
It's worse than that. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is the end of everything. At least it's the end of the career of Toad, which is the same thing. popular and handsome toad, rich and hospitable toad, a toad so free and careless and debonair, who has been unjustly imprisoned for stealing a motor car in such a brave and stylish manner, and for his lurid and imaginative cheek upon a number of red-faced policemen. Actually, that was quite funny. I called one Mr. Fatface Plod. Oh, unhappy and forsaken toad.
Cheer up, Mr. Toad. Oh, go on. Sit up straight. Dry your eyes. Oh, and do try to be a sensible animal. Now, would you like something to eat?
No.
Oh, go on.
No.
Oh, go on, go on, go on.
No.
Oh, but I made you bubble and squeak. Yummy, yum, yums. Go on. It's yummy.
Bubble and squeak. I'm the toad of Toad Hall. I'm used to the finer things in life. Caviar, pâté de foie gras, the finest guinea fowl cooked by the finest chef in the land. I mean, bubble and squeak.
Well, have it your own way. It's this, or bread and water.
Bread and water? Oh, in that case, please may I have some of your delicious bubble and squeak?
Wouldn't you rather wait for the stale bread?
Oh, hand it over, please.
Oh, all right, then have a nosh on that. Now, tell me all about...
It's nice.
Tell me all about Toad Hall. It sounds wonderful.
Oh, well, Toad Hall is an elegant, self-contained gentleman's residence, dating in part to the...
Lord bless you, sir. I don't want to buy it. I just want to hear something real about it.
Well, it's funny, but the thing I remember most, more than all of the rooms, I mean, there's hundreds of them, hundreds and hundreds, and the gardens, I mean, they stretch for miles, about 5 or 6 miles. No, the thing I remember most were the dinners we used to have, and all the lovely animals that used to visit. Wise old badger, clever, intelligent rat, and kind, sensible mole. Oh, I wish I had the chance to see them again and to apologize for my foolish ways.
Do you really mean that, Toad?
I do indeed.
Well, in that case, I have an aunt who is a washerwoman.
Oh, there, never mind. I've several aunts who ought to be washerwomen.
Oh, do be serious, Mr. Toad. No, she is the washerwoman for the whole castle.
Oh.
From the jailers to the prisoners. Now, she collects the laundry every Friday evening and returns it every Monday morning. Now today is Thursday,
So, tomorrow she'll pick up the washing. Is there any point to this story, or are we just discussing your relatives to pass the time?
The point is, Mr. Toad, that she is not a wealthy woman. So if you could see your way to giving her some money, I mean, much to her and little to you, well, she might be persuaded to lend you her clothes.
Her clothes?
Yes, to make your escape. You're very much like one another in figure.
We are not. I have a very elegant figure for what I am.
And so is she for what she is.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Her clothes, for goodness
Oh, well, have it your own way, you proud, ungrateful animal. I felt sorry for you and thought you deserved a second chance, but I can see I was wrong, so goodbye.
No, wait, please, stop. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I can't help it. Sometimes, well, most of the time, my mouth starts working before my brain has woken up. I'm a proud and foolish toad. And if your kind aunt agrees, I promise, as I am a gentleman, that I will see that she is fully recompensed and rewarded for her actions.
Promise?
Promise.
Oh, very well then, my dear Toad. And just think, after tonight, you will never have to spend another night in jail again. So, toodaloo.
Toodaloo. I'm going to make an escape. Oh. Sweet girl, how frightfully nice to see you. Where is your aunt?
Oh, Lord bless you, sir. Wouldn't be seemly for a lady in a state of undress to be seen by a gentleman such as yourself. But do not worry. Once you've made your escape,
yes,
I'll bring her into this cell,
yes,
and I'll lock her in,
yes,
and then she will tell the guards that she was overpowered by you.
Oh, excellent! So, she won't be in trouble for helping me.
No.
And I will keep my reputation as a desperate and dangerous fellow.
Right. Anyway, let's get you dressed.
Are you sure about
Oh,
this?
of course. Come on over here, then.
I don't think much of the colour.
Oh, it's a lovely colour on you.
Do you really think so?
Sewer green. It's all the rage right now. There we go.
Oh, don't tickle. You're tickling.
Nice little waist.
Yes,
there.
I've got a nice little waist.
There we are. And the finishing touch.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Oh.
are you really sure about this? I mean, it's not very flattering, is it? Maybe I could tunnel my way out. I'm sure with a spoon I'd be out in, 50 or 60 years.
Do be serious, Mr. Toad. I think you look lovely.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah. Now, off you go.
Yes,
So across the courtyard to the main gate.
Yes.
Oh, just act natural and the guard will let you out. Oh, and before you go, my aunt's name is Mabel.
Oh, there, never mind.
If anybody asks, go on, off you go.
Oh, thank you. You've saved my life. Oh. I will make sure your aunt is repaid 100-fold for her help.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Toad.
No. And you too.
I don't want anything. Just make sure you never end up here again, all right? Mwah.
Oh. Thank you, sweet girl.
Good evening, Mom.
Mom?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, that's really, I've got a frog in my throat. Frog in my throat. Never mind. Oh, good evening, officer.
Cold night tonight.
Oh, it is indeed. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up by a nice warm fire.
Oh, it'll be hours before I feel any warmth.
Yes, well, if you would like to open the gate, then off I'll trot.
How about a little kiss before you go, eh?
Oh, what cheek!
Oh, any cheek will do.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
It's awful lonely on a cold night like tonight.
I'm sure it
I
does.
just long for a little human contact.
Yeah, we'll have a big surprise here.
Oh, it's been years since I felt the touch of a good woman.
Yeah, we'll have a great bet.
Oh, go on.
Not with me, sunshine.
Pardon?
I mean, I mean, how dare you! How dare you take advantage of a poor innocent woman like what I is?
No, Mum, I didn't mean that.
No, I don't want to hear any more from you. Now, you listen here. I want you to go and find a piece of paper.
A piece of paper?
Yes, and to write, I must be a better person 500 times.
I must be a better person 500 times.
Right, that last bit. Oh, no, but before you go, you'd better let me out the gate first.
Oh, of course, Mum, right.
I should think so. What would your mother think?
Oh,
naughty.
Well, I certainly didn't expect this. Spirited and dramatic I expect from Toad, but criminal mastermind I did not.
It says here that after locking the washerwoman in his cell, Toad made his escape across the courtyard in broad daylight, in what will be known as one of the greatest escapes of our time.
Oh, just hope he never sees a copy of this or we'll never hear the end of it.
But where do you think he'll go, Badger?
If he's got any sense, he'll come straight back here as quickly and as quietly as he can.
Oh, not much chance of that happening then, is there?
No, I suppose not. Come along, Molly.
Righto, Mr. Badger. Oh dear, oh dear.
The clever men of Oxford know all there is to know, but none of them know half as much as intelligent Mr. Toad. The Queen and her ladies-in-waiting sat at the window and sewed. She said, "Who's that handsome man?" They answered, "Mr. Toad!" A railway station! Oh, what luck! I mean, yes, I thought my plan would work in the end. Now, I'll just hop onto a train, if you'll pardon the pun. Hop onto a train. Yes, I think some of you's got it. And after a nice relaxing journey by steam locomotive, arrive back at the riverbank and Toad Hall. That'll be one in the eye for old Badger. Now, I wonder if I can afford to travel first class. Mind you, with the price of tickets these days, I don't know if even I can afford it. Oh no. Oh bother. Oh blast. No money. Not even a shilling. Not even a shiny penny. Oh, this is the end of Toad. No money. No way home!
Hello, Mother, what's the trouble? You don't look particularly cheerful.
Ah, I'm a poor washerwoman, and I've lost all me money, and I can't afford a ticket. And I must get home this evening, and whatever am I gonna do? Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, now, that's a bad business. Lost your money and can't get home. Got a couple of kids waiting for you too, I want.
No, any amount of them, and they'll all be hungry, and playing with matches, and upsetting lamps, and quarrelling. The little darlings.
Here, I'll tell you what I'll do. Now, I'm an engine driver, which I don't mind telling you is a very dirty business on account of the soot and all. Uses up a powder shirts, and my missus, she's very tired of washing them. Now, if you'll wash a couple of shirts for me when you get home and send them along, I shall give you a ride in the engine. It's against company regulations, but they're not so particular in these out-of-the-way parts, and, well, I couldn't leave a lady in distress on the platform now, could I?
Oh, thank you, kind sir. I could never repay you. When I get back to Toad Hall, I'll send him enough money to pay for any quantity of washing. Oh.
Now, let's get you settled. We'll get you back to children in no time.
My what?
Hey?
Oh, the children, yes.
Right,
The
come
little
on, let's get going, let's get moving.
There's no train.
All aboard! Hey, you doing, Mother?
This is incredible. The power! Not quite a motor car, but it's still very impressive.
Yeah, that's strange. Well, we're the last train running in this direction, yet I could swear there's another one behind us.
What?
Yes, yes, I can see it clearly now. It's coming up at a hell of a rate. It's almost as though we're being pursued.
We must go faster! They're gaining on us fast!
The engine is crowded with a whole horde of people. There's policemen and ancient prison walls, armed with halberds, and even plainclothes policemen with revolvers. They're all waving and shouting the same thing.
Stop, stop, stop!
See, I told you.
Save me, Mr. Engine Driver! Please save me and I'll confess everything. You see, I'm not the poor washerwoman you thought I was. I'm the infamous Toad, who've escaped with daring and cunning from the loathsome prison that my enemies have flung me into. And if those men on the train catch me, it'll be bread and water and chains and misery for poor, unhappy Toad.
Yeah, now you tell me the truth. What were you put in prison for, eh?
Well, it was a misunderstanding. I only borrowed a motor car when the owner was at lunch. I didn't mean to steal it, but the judge took a very dim view of things. Maybe because it was his car.
Well, it sounds to me like you've been a very naughty and wicked Toad, but you're full of remorse and desperation. Well, I don't hold with motor cars myself. Call it professional discourtesy. So, I will not abandon you. Now, grab a shovel and get shoveling.
Oh, yes, I've got a shovel, yes. Stop, stop, stop! Stop, stop, stop!
Here, it's no use, Toad. They're lots more powerful than us. They're going to catch us sooner or later.
Then I do!
No. All is not lost. Look, up ahead there is a tunnel, and just beyond it, the track curves round to the left. Now, both engines will have to slow down for a moment, but we won't be seen. We'll be going slow enough for you to jump.
Jump? What, from a moving train?
Well, it's that old prison.
Oh, very well. How fast will we be going?
Oh, you don't want to know. Now, when I say jump, jump.
Yeah.
Here, all wait. You have moved from jump from moving train to door engine.
Now what do I do?
This.
Goodbye, Mr. Engine Driver. Goodbye, you servants of the law. Once again, I, the Toad, have escaped your clutches. I'm a free animal once more. Hurrah! Now, I wonder where I am. Well, not that it matters, as I'm free. Hurrah! A little chilly, perhaps, but I'm free. Well, I'm very chilly, actually, but I'm free. Hurrah! I don't mind saying it's absolutely freezing, but at least I have my liberty, which is worth more than 50 blankets. Though a nice warm fire and a nice bit of supper would be nice. Now, which way should I go?
Which way do you think he went, Ratty?
Well, if Toad had jumped from the train here, and then wandered around a little saying how clever he is here, well then, he'd only have to turn left. And he'd be heading back onto the road that leads back to the riverbank, and he'd be home before breakfast.
Oh, but what if he turns right, Ratty?
No, even Toad wouldn't be that silly. You see, then he'd be heading away from home, and straight back to the castle he'd just escaped from.
Oh, yes, even Toady wouldn't be that silly.
No, quite.
Left, right, left. Right! I think a Toad's homing instinct is never wrong. This is the right way, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. It says in the script he goes right, so I know. Mind you, nothing seems familiar. But I must be on the right way. I probably didn't look around when I was passing this way before. Onward the Toad! What's that ahead? It's a canal! Oh, what luck! It must be coming from somewhere and going to somewhere. Oh, Toad's luck again! The army all saluted as they marched along the road. Was it the king or Kitchener? No, it was Mr. Toad. The world is held great heroes, as the history books have shown. But never a name goes down in fame compared with that of Toad. Oh, what's this coming this way? It's a barge! And on the back, a very distinguished-looking barge. Woman, time for another BAFTA award-winning performance as a distressed washerwoman.
Oh, good morning, Marm.
Oh, I suppose it is a good morning for those that are not in sore trouble like what I is. You see, here I am. No money.
Oh, dear.
No coat.
Oh, dear.
Just the bonnet on me head.
Oh.
You see, my married daughter sends for me to come to her urgently. And like a good mother, off I go, not even pausing to have breakfast.
Oh.
And I've left big business to run itself. I'm in the washing and laundering line, you see. And I've left me children to look after themselves.
Now, where might your married daughter be living?
Oh, on the riverbank, near a frightfully beautiful mansion called Toad Hall.
Toad Hall? Well, bless my soul, you're going in completely the wrong direction.
There. So much for the famous toad homing instinct. You lot were right.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going that way myself, so I'll give you a lift.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Oh, what luck. I always seem to come out on top.
Well, it's a stroke of luck us meeting like this. I'm in need of a powerful amount of washing to be done. And I'm sure a lady of your profession wouldn't mind washing a few shirts just to say thank you.
What? Oh, I mean, yes. I'll go down and get started, yes. Oh, I'm sure it can't be that bad. I mean, any fool can wash clothes. Well, except teenage boys, of course. Oh, it's the washing machine. What comes here, isn't it? Oh, where's the on-off button? Anyway, I better get doing it because I'm in a bit of a tight spot here. It gets worse, I tell you. Oh, I've got a shirt. There's some soap. Yes. Oh, sorry. Not soap. Yeah. A funny woman, isn't she? Oh, what's this? Oh, what do I do with those? I'm just carrying on with the ship.
Oh, some washerwoman you are. Oh, Lady, you've never washed so much as a dishcloth in all your life.
You common low barge woman! You presume to speak to your betters like that? I'll have you know you're addressing Mr. Toad, the well-known and distinguished Toad, the master of disguise, who's hid his identity until now. Ha ha!
Well, I never. A nasty, deceitful toad on my nice barge. But that's something I will not stand. Come here!
You can't catch me! Toad escapes again! Poop! Poop!
If Toad did go the wrong way, it's entirely possible that he found the canal, was picked up by an unsuspecting local, lasted maybe a mile, before losing his temper and being flung from the boat.
I jumped, actually.
Oh, not in the original story, you didn't.
I know, but Rob left me, so I jumped.
Oh, fair enough then.
As I was saying,
Sorry.
Yes, sir, sorry, Ratty.
if all of these things were to miraculously have happened, why, Toad would end up standing on the very edge of the road that leads back to the riverbank.
Oh, hooray! And then all he'd have to do was flag down a passer-by, and then he'd be back at Toad Hall in time for tea.
Yes. Although I suppose with Toad it's never really that simple.
No, I suppose not.
Poop! Poop! Oh, a car! Oh, here's real life again. I shall hail them, my brothers of the wheel, spin them a yarn about being down on my luck, with less emphasis about being a poor washerwoman, in case they start getting any ideas. Then they will sweep me up and deposit me in glorious style, driving up to Toad Hall in a motor car. That'll be one in the eye for old Badger.
Splendid! Run sweeter than ever. Just had her fixed, you know.
Yeah, well, he should probably thank the blighter. He stole it then.
Instead, you gave him 20 years!
Oh no! It's the same car! The one I stole before! Oh, I'm doomed! It'll be bread and water and chains and policemen again! Oh, foolish toad! Oh, hapless toad! Oh, poor unfortunate creature that I am! I'm going.
I say, what is it?
It looks like an ugly old washerwoman.
Well, what's she doing sleeping in the middle of the road? It ain't natural.
It looks as though she's fainted, perhaps overcome with the heat.
Well, what are we supposed to do with her?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good at making decisions under pressure.
Aren't you a member of Parliament?
Well, it was touch and go over Christmas, but I think I made it.
I know. Maybe we can pick her up, put her in the back of the car, take her to the next village, and they can look after her.
Oh, capital idea! Right, let's do that. Right, pick her up. Yes.
Yes. Come on, old washerwoman.
Up you get, washerwoman, come on. All right, then. Come on, up we get. Come on, up your tootsies, that's it, in you go. Go on, come on, that's it, go on.
She's a bit slimy.
Everybody in?
Yeah.
Right. Off we go! Yeah.
I say, she's beginning to look better already. I think the fresh air's doing her good. How do you feel now, washerwoman?
Oh, I'm much better now, thank you, kind sir.
Jolly good.
I was just thinking, perhaps if I sat up in the front with the driver, I could get the fresh air full in me face and make a full recovery.
Oh, capital idea! Right, move over there! Yes, hop in the back. Oh, I say, washerwoman! I can't see!
Oh, bliss! Oh, rapture! A motor car again! Oh, poop, poop!
Sorry, washerwoman, what was that? Didn't catch it.
What? I was just saying, it's always been a dream of mine to drive a motor car like this one. Yes. I've been watching you carefully, and I think I could manage for a short time.
Yeah, what a splendid idea. Go on, John, give the lady again.
Yes, give us something to tell her friends about.
I like your spirit, washerwoman. Right, change places!
Oh, sorry, Your Honour.
Well done, washerwoman. Good show.
Oh, it's not as hard as it seems.
Be careful, washerwoman.
I know what I'm doing.
I must insist you slow down.
I'm going to be sick.
Slow down? Never. For I'm not the poor washerwoman you thought I was. I'm the infamous Toad. The prison breaker. The car snatcher. The terror of the highways. The Prince of Speed. Lewis Hamilton is nothing on me. 4 speed ahead. What? Oh no, I've done it again.
Somebody stop him.
What? I'm not going to do that.
Aren't you an officer of the law?
Yes, I don't do the hands-on stuff. Don't want to get warped.
Oh, that's just a myth.
Right, put together then.
Right.
Save me! I can't swim! Oh, I wish I hadn't been such a lazy tadpole. Was my 999 brothers and sisters were out learning to swim. I was hiding in the pantry and having 40 winks. Oh, Nanny would be so disappointed. Oh, I wish I'd been better towards Nanny. Learning her name would have helped. I wish I'd paid more attention in school. Attending once in a while would have helped. Oh, so many regrets. Oh, this is it. This is the end of everything. This is the end of Toad. Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye, Badger. Goodbye, Mole. Goodbye, Ratty.
Hello, Toad! Hello, watch out, Toad! Here I
Ratty, thank goodness you're safe! Diving in to save a hapless animal! Oh, it's Mr. Toad! Oh, Mr. Toad, thank goodness you're safe! Why, the newspapers, they've been saying all kinds of...
Newspapers? Oh, little old me mentioned in the newspapers.
Oh, yes, Mr. Toad, broadsheet and tabloid alike!
Yes, for any young members of the audience, newspapers are how people found out the news before the invention of the internet. Carry on.
Oh, however did you do it, you clever animal?
Clever? Yes. Well, I suppose you could say I was rather clever. Why, to have escaped from the strongest prison in England in disguise, jumped off a moving train, then off a barge,
Do be quiet, Toad. Mole, don't egg him on, you know what he's like. Now, Toad, go and change into something more becoming of a creature of your status.
Yes, quite right, Ratty. As usual. I'll get into some dry clothes, have a bite to eat. I'm famished, by the way. A nice little drink of something, and then you can roll me back to Toad Hall, and I'll be in my own bed by about 9 o'clock.
Oh, Toad. Oh, you haven't heard.
Heard what, Mole?
Well, you see, old chap.
Ratty, shouldn't we wait for Mr. Badger?
No, Mole, there's no use waiting.
Waiting for what, Ratty?
Well, you see, while you were having that trouble, we thought you'd been awfully hard done by, but talked an awful lot about on the riverbank, and, well, we thought you'd be released as soon as this awful miscarriage of justice was sorted out. But the Wildwooders, the Stoats and Weasels, well, they said you were gone for good, and good riddance, and other more unsavoury things I don't care to mention.
Well, who cares what a few Stoats and Weasels think? I mean, it's not called for all this doom and gloom, is it?
But Toad, they've taken Toad Hall.
Oh. What?
Almost as soon as you left. Badger and I were looking after the place as best we could when, one night, while we were having supper, a band of ferrets came in through the front door and Stoats and Weasels through the conservatory
And what, Mole?
And, Toad, they attacked your two friends and forced them out of the house they were protecting for you while you were running around the countryside having adventures.
My dear fellow, I have been through thick and thin. Why, barely a morsel has passed my lips in hours. It's true, I made the best of a bad situation. One could almost say I achieved the impossible as only the Toad could. I'm sure that Badger and Mole did their best, but let me tell you that if Toad had been there, well, it would have been a different story, for I would have bobbed, and I would have weaved, and I would have given them the old 1, 2, and...
Toad!
Badger's behind me, isn't he?
You are a bad, troublesome little animal. What would your father, my old friend, say if he were here now, to hear you boast of your brushes with the law, your criminal activities, and not so much as a thank you to your friends who have stood by you and rescued you in your hour of need? He would be ashamed.
Oh, Badger, I see I've been a headstrong and willful Toad. I've shamed you all. Henceforth, I will be humble and submissive, and live my life best befitting someone of my station, whatever that is, for I no longer have a home, or a change of clothes, or any money. I will enlist as a soldier, and never see my beloved Toad Hall again.
Oh, there. Dry your eyes. It's not as bad as all that. For I mean to take back Toad Hall tomorrow night.
What?
Badger, it's as bad as it can get. We've been round Toad Hall at all hours of the day or night, and it's always the same. Stoats and weasels and ferrets in every window, and all looking at us and laughing at us.
Which is why we aren't going to storm the place. There is a tunnel that leads from the riverbank right up into the kitchen at Toad Hall.
Oh, Badger, you've been listening to all the local gossip. I bet it's those rabbits, they'll say anything.
My young friend, your father, a worthy animal, much worthier than some I could mention, told me of the tunnel years ago. He said, don't tell the boy. His heart's in the right place, but he lacks character and can't keep his mouth shut.
Yes, that sounds like father.
If he's in a real scrape and it would be of use to him, then tell him about the tunnel, but not a moment before. Well, it's been 10 years, Toad, but now the time has come.
But why tomorrow night, Badger?
Because, my dear Ratty, Toad is here again. Toad is here to
Nothing
save
of
the
the
day.
sort, Toad. There is a party for the Chief Weasel tomorrow night in the Great Hall. All our adversaries will be in one place and unsuspecting of an attack. We'll sneak in, grab them by the scruff of the
Yes.
neck, and we'll
whack 'em! Yes, we'll whack 'em and whack 'em and whack 'em!
Don't say whack 'em, Toad. It's not good English.
Actually, I couldn't have put it better myself, Ratty.
Well, sleep well, you chaps, for tomorrow is the hour of the Toad. Ratty, you don't mind if I use your bed, do you? It's been a long day.
What? No, Toad. Now, there is a sword for the rat, a sword for the mill, and a sword for the badger.
Oh, that's all very well, Ratty, but I just mean to use this here stick, and that'll be enough for me. Would have done it myself, but I didn't want to deprive you fellows of the fun.
You know me, Badger. I'd hate to get to the skirmish and for someone to tell me I'd forgotten something.
Yes, that's right.
Good morning, you fellows.
It's 6 in the evening, Toad.
You've slept all day.
Where's Mo?
Yes, I was rather wondering that.
Hello, you fellows! I've had the most wonderful day.
Well, what on earth have you been doing?
I got the idea when Toad told us about his disguise. So this morning, I borrowed your washerwoman outfit, went up to Toad Hall, and there, as usual, were some ugly-looking ferrets.
Who goes there?
Hello, I'm just a humble old washerwoman.
Go away, washerwoman. But don't do washing while we're on duty.
Or at any other time by the smell of it, Pierce.
Yeah, that's enough cheek from you. Run along now.
Oh, run along. Oh, I won't be the only one running along before too long.
What do you mean?
I just heard that 100 bloodthirsty badgers are going to attack Toad Hall this very night by way of the orchard.
You what?
And a squadron of toads called the Diehards or the Death or Glory Toads are going to make an amphibious landing in the garden.
What?
Not to mention the Special Forces rats who are going to attack Toad Hall and stamp out anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, well, I don't like this.
And lastly, the battalion of moles who are even now undermining the boundary walls. Oh, it's not going to be safe here tonight. No.
Where'd you hear all this from, washerwoman?
From a rabbit!
Oh, well, that's all right then. Rabbits will say anything.
Yes, but this rabbit works for Mr. Badger, who is in command of the whole operation. Oh, if I were you, I'd be back to the wildwood before I was caught like a rat in a trap.
Oh, just like those weasels to leave us poor ferrets out here facing avenging toads and angry badgers.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Captain, but as soon as it gets dark, I'm going back to my burrow.
Oh, me too, Private, me too.
Oh, ta-da! So, what do you think about my brilliant plan?
No! You silly ass! You've spoiled it. You've told them everything.
On
Why
the
did
contrary,
you do that?
Toad. Mole, I see you have more sense in your little finger than some animals have in their whole bodies. Good, clever Mole.
Thank you, Mr. Badger.
But they know we're coming now.
No, I see your plan, Mole. You see, when the story gets around the Stoats and Weasels, as undoubtedly it will, why, the sight of a real toad or badger will frighten them far more than the four of us could ever hope to do on our own.
Exactly, Ratty.
Oh, yes. It was a rather brilliant idea.
Well, thank you, Mr. Toad.
Yes, and if I hadn't been so sleep deprived, I probably would have thought of it myself, and then I would have given the old one to
Oh, do be quiet, Toad. Now, the time has come, so prepare yourself, but take only what you need. The tunnel is very narrow.
Yes.
Now, Toad, I'm going to need you to be very, very quiet.
Yes, I can be very quiet.
And then, on my word, give 'em hell!
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Toad, remember to give them hell.
Yes, I'll give them hell! I'll give them hell! I'll whack 'em and whack 'em and whack 'em! I mean, going into Toad Hall like that. Why didn't they go into Frogsmore Cottage? That's empty. Let me out! Let me out! You've locked me out! Let me out!
Come on, Toad. Wait! Did you hear something?
Quickly, hide!
Hide!
Oh, come on, Ratty, there's no time to be hanging around there. Come on.
Over there.
What? Over there. Oh, yes, a good idea. Oh, Ratty, I got an idea too. Look.
Come on! There must be some food left in this dump.
Oh, this isn't a dump. No. Toad Hall is our new home. Anyway, if there's no food left here, it's because you've eaten it all.
That's a lie! You scoff down twice as much as I do.
Do not.
Do too.
Do not.
Do too.
Anyway, and neither of us eat as much as that fat old toad used to do.
What? Shh. Oh, sorry.
There's nothing there.
Right, look for some cheese. What are you doing down there?
This is the part where you run off screaming, old chap.
That's a Ratty.
Noggin! Oh, something hit me on the head! I think the roof is caved!
Oh, sorry, Batman.
Ratty!
Closer. Now!
Oh, yes, Fred.
Idiot.
Go down there.
Before you begin, no, I think it's only fair to warn you that I was trained in the great school of fence by those great Spanish masters, Badger, and many years ago, I sailed on a great ship in the South Pacific Ocean, Badger, and there I was known by a different name. Oh yes, there I was known as Rate del Agua, which means rat that passes water.
Oh, come on, Ratty, attack! Go on, Rat! Yeah, go on, everyone! Come on, Ratty! Come on, everyone! Oh, yeah! Bye, Ratty! Bye, Ratty!
Hand, drop it, hand, drop it. Well, now that's finished.
Can I just take a moment, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Well, now that's finished, and once we've cleaned up the mess Toad Hall's been left in, we shall have a banquet to celebrate the return of its rightful owner.
Oh, capital idea, Badger! I can see it all. First, there will be a speech by the Toad. There will be other speeches throughout the evening by the Toad. Then a song written and performed by the Toad. There will be an address on the prisons of England.
No, Toad, it simply will not do.
I beg your pardon?
He said it won't do, and I quite agree with him. There will be no songs and no speeches at this banquet.
What? Not even one speech?
No!
Not even one little song?
No, Toady. Look, all your songs are conceitful, they're vanity and boasting, and all your speeches, well, they're full of self-praise
And gas. And now you can write out invitations to all the riverbankers this afternoon.
What? Me? Stay indoors and write a lot of rotten letters? Not likely. I shall want to write my estate and I shall put things right. I shall swagger about.
Oh,
and
enough is enough, Toady!
Myrtle?
Well, it's just... Well, it's time to turn over a new leaf. To make a sort of a change.
It's time to grow up, old chap.
Indeed.
My friends, you have conquered. Henceforth, I will be a changed Toad. You will not have need to blush for me again. I will live my life as a quiet and distinguished country gentleman, with just a few possessions around me. What's that noise? Oh, bliss! Oh, rapture!
Oh, no!
Oh, pooh! Come back! Please stop there! Come back here!
Thank you.